All right, so welcome back. It is time to reflect and look back at April of 2025 and see what is happening here in these three neighborhoods here being Beacon Lake, Creekside, and Beachwalk. And then just out of curiosity, because I noticed in my experience a lot of times when people are looking at these neighborhoods and they decide not to buy here, the one of the big competitor neighborhoods they're looking at is Shearwater, which is similar in a lot of ways to Beacon Lake, a lot of ways to Beachwalk as well, as far as having some really cool amenities over there, and then neighborhood feel and house size, house wise. Beacon Lake's pretty good contender, so figured we'd take a look and see what the stats look like in there as well. I have some thoughts on what we're seeing on price per square foot, especially one of these four neighborhoods. The price per foot last month was way, 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 way higher than the other neighborhoods and probably higher than the last few months as well for this neighborhood. So I figured I would hop in and give you my thoughts on why that is. Thankfully, in that neighborhood, I'm just looking at resales. In that case, there were four resales, and two of them were sold by me and my team. So we have some inside scoop on those. But let's hop in, and we are looking first of all at Beacon Lake. In Beacon Lake, there were 32 active homes for sale last month. In Beachwalk, there were 47 homes for sale last month, so quite a bit of for sale inventory in there. And just to be clear on these homes for sale, we are talking about if there's townhomes in the community, those are included in that. And new construction, if there's new construction in the community, then that is included in those numbers, these numbers as well. So Beacon Lake, 32 homes, Beachwalk, 47 homes for sale. Creekside had 13 active listings, and Shearwater had 57. And a lot of those are townhomes and new construction. All right, so how many new listings came on the market in each neighborhood? And in Beacon Lake last month, there were 15 homes that came on the market. In Beachwalk, there were 7 new listings that came on the market. Creekside, there were 5 new listings. And in Shearwater, they had 27 new listings. So that's almost double Beacon Lake, which was double Beachwalk, which, well, is pretty close to Creekside for new homes listing coming into the market. In new pending, so when homes go under contract, we're calling that going pending. And in Beacon Lake, there were 9 homes that went under contract. And in Beachwalk, there were 4 homes that went under contract. Creekside didn't have any new contracts, and in Shearwater there were 16 homes that went under contract. And so when you look at that, 9 under contract and 15 in Beachwalk new listings, you can see where inventory is going to start increasing. Same with Beachwalk, only 4 went under contract, but only 7 new listings came on the market. Creekside had 5 new listings hit the market and didn't have any new pendings. So that's just increasing the inventory, right? And then we see the same thing in Shearwater. 27 homes came on the market and 16 went under contract. And then let's talk about homes that actually closed and sold and closed that month. Last month, Beacon Lake had 10 homes that closed. There were 6 in Beachwalk, 2 of them in Creekside, and 15 in Shearwater. So these next numbers going forward are for single family homes. So took out the townhomes, and no new construction. These are all resales. And so looking at days on the market, there were in Beacon Lake, the average days on market, so average time it took a home to get under contract in this case was 28 days to get a contract. In Beachwalk, it was 53 days. In Creekside, it was 129 days. So the 2 homes that closed in Creekside last month, the average days on market was 129. And then in Shearwater, the average days on market was 50 days. And that's, again, just for the resales. So the resale price per square foot, I'm actually going to save Beacon Lake to the end because this number is a little funky. It's a good number, but I don't think it quite tells the whole story. So I don't want people to get overconfident and go list their house, and then their days on market goes way up because it's not selling because it's overpriced. So the average price per foot in Beachwalk for single family homes resales was $249, so just shy of $250 a foot. In Creekside and Shearwater, it's actually exactly the same at $235 a foot. And then Beacon Lake, so there were 4 resales that closed in Beacon Lake, and that's what this number is based on. The average price per square foot was $274. Now, immediately you want to go like, whoa, $274. And you look at your square footage on your house and you do the math and you're like, holy cow, my house is worth $800,000. Well, I just want to caution you because thankfully my team and I, we were blessed to have 2 of the 4 homes that sold and closed in here last month. And so we got a little bit of, inside scoop. And plus, just looking at the numbers themselves, you can see you'll see the pattern here. So there were 4 homes that closed in here. 2 of those homes were just over 1,600 square feet. So that's about the smallest home that you're going to get in Beacon Lake in a resale. There's actually townhomes that are bigger than these Ortegas and these 1630-ish square feet homes. And that's significant because when you look at the price per foot, generally speaking, the smaller the home, the larger price you're going to get per square foot. So each of these homes sold at about $450,000. One sold at $450,000, the other one sold at $460,000, but at $10,000 in concessions given. So it ends up being $450,000 anyway. And if you're looking for a 3-bedroom, two bath home, whether it's 1,800 square foot like an Avondale or 1,600-ish feet in an Ortega, people aren't looking as much at the price per foot, just like, oh, wow, I can get a nice home for in Beacon Lake for $450,000. Good stuff. So that's part of the story. And then one of the homes in here was a pool home that sat for a little bit, but it got under contract and sold. But pool homes generally have a higher price per foot. So 3 of the 4 homes in here had some advantages when you're talking about price per square foot. A being smaller footprint, smaller square footage, and then having a pool makes a difference as well. And then the other home, it was probably around $250 a foot, somewhere in that range. It was a Canon 2, which is super popular plan in phase 1. The phase 1 homes have been getting pretty good prices lately. Nice lake lot, had a couple challenges to it, but got under contract, got sold, and got closed pretty quickly. So looking at days on market as well, you can tend to look and say, wow, only the average days on market in Beacon Lake was 28 days. The average days on market for the active listings as of today when I'm shooting this is 65 days. So it's probably worth a look, but it's also probably not time to panic if your house has been sitting for over 28 days. I think the numbers are a little deceptive here in Beacon Lake from last month. We had a bunch of smaller homes, a bunch of single story homes, and I can't remember, the pool home was a pool home, but then the other 3 homes were all single story, which helps as well. So there are some advantages to those homes and they went pretty quickly. The other thing I think we're seeing is a bit of a bounce from the builder. Gosh, last I checked last week, they had 14 homes left in here to sell. And the prices right now, because they usually November, December, Dreamfinder's fiscal year is ending in December, and so they're dropping some prices. And then coming to the new year, they've actually gone up a little bit. The homes they had listed for sale, they weren't giving them away like they were back in November. So that's kind of helped lift some of the resale prices in here, and just demand versus inventory as the builder has pulled out. It's given an advantage just to us with some of the resales in here. And so marketed properly with the right strategies, we've seen some homes get under contract fairly quickly. So it definitely is possible. If you've got any questions on any of these neighborhoods in St. Johns County, especially, really, I have been tracking these things for a long, long time, and I'm always happy to share some insight with you and just share with you what I am actually seeing. I've got nothing to sell you. I'm just out here, paying attention to things and happy to have some conversations. One thing I would like to offer you, so I have listed some homes for people that were already under construction when we connected, under contract for a new build when we've connected. And so sometimes that works out great. Sometimes there's some complications within that process of selling a home while you're trying to build a home. Thankfully, the folks that I've been working with already had some things in place, but it can get real tricky. And so I actually have a guide that I've put together, the stress-free guide to selling and buying new construction. I think that's what it's called. I can't quite remember what I called it, but just comment below guide or send me a DM and let me know that you're looking for that, and I will send that to you. Anyways, happy May, and we'll see you next month when we look at this month's statistics. So try to remember $274 a foot in 28 days on market. And let's see what these numbers look like at the end of May, in June, when we look back at May. Can you believe that school's almost out and summer is almost here? Hopefully you guys have some amazing things going on this summer, and look forward to seeing you around the neighborhoods.